Okay.
All right, welcome everybody. This is Amanda. And just a few announcements before we get started today. This coming Sunday, so less than a week away, is Super Sunday in Chicago. If you are not in Chicago, then it's most likely Super Saturday near you. Hopefully you are able to attend. I'm sure there's going to be big announcements because a bunch of coaches were at leadership last week and they announced the new Shakeology flavor, and Hammer and Chisel comes out December 1st. I'm sure there were other announcements that were like, hush, hush, don't say anything yet. So there's possible that we will have some awesome announcements this weekend. So that's super exciting. And then the following weekend, Carly's going to be in town, so we're super excited. And she was able to get us a room at Bourbon Street. So we're going to have a little team event. Lindsay, Carly, and I will be doing a little bit of training, then we'll have a little bit of fun and maybe do a workout and just really just get together and get to know each other more than we do now. So I'm excited for that. What else? New coach training group started today. If you have any coaches in that group who haven't participated or whatever, reach out to them and make sure that they understand to watch each video every day, and there's a question that I kind of posted along with each video as it gets shared. So hopefully we got a few takeaways from the video today. All the videos are less than 10 minutes, so it's really doable these first 2 weeks. Excuse me. I also had a challenge group start today. I know a lot of people have challenge groups starting today and next Monday, so that's fun and exciting. We have sneak peek coming up next week, so make sure you're inviting to that. And I think that's all for announcements that I can think of right now. But we're super excited. So when Lindsay said the other day, she's like, "Can you run the call on Monday?" I said, "Hopefully I'll be alive." I said, "But I don't know how much energy I'm going to have." So then we were like, "Ooh, maybe Carly can speak." So we're super excited to have Carly talking today. She's really been a true leader even before hitting diamond. So Carly has a lot of coaches under her, but has not yet hit diamond, but acts like it already. So we're excited for her to share a little bit about her leadership skills and just being a leader before, just right from the start. So hopefully you'll get lots of takeaways from this. And I'm going to mute everybody except for Carly.
Is that possible?
I think so. So hang on.
Cool. I'm highlighted right now.
I know. Okay, mute all, and then I think I can unmute Carly. All right.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? I think I could just hear you too, but that's okay because you're not doing anything weird, are you?
No, okay, I can mute.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Well, I'm so excited to not only be I'm honored to be on the call, but I honestly kind of laughed to myself when Lindsay and Amanda, we were on a three-way message, and Lindsay said, "Hey, Carly, can you run the call on leadership?" And I just was thinking to myself, like I have with most things, I'm like, whoa, I am completely not ready for this. And I also have never considered myself a leader my whole life until I became a coach. And I'm going to talk to you about that today. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my experience with Beachbody, tell you a little bit about myself and kind of how I got here. And hopefully you can take some takeaways. I'd love to answer any questions you have afterwards. So again, my name is Carly. If you're wondering where I fall in the ranks, it's kind of interesting because I am adopted by Amanda and Lindsay, I almost say. I do have a coach. Her name is Erica. Some of you might know her on the call, but to be honest, she's not really actively coaching at this time. So I've decided to take a look at myself in the mirror and not let that discourage me and allow myself to be a leader and reach out to people who are actively coaching the business because based off of my set of goals. So I think that's the one big thing that I'm going to mention a lot today is that your ownership as a leader really depends on how you become or what type of coach you become. So it's all about your goals and it's all about your vision. So again, my name is Carly. I'm an Emerald rank coach. I'm not your typical Emerald, as some would say. The reason I say that is because I have 17 personally sponsored coaches under me, and then I have about 10 under them. I'm literally one coach away from hitting a diamond. So I've been working really hard at a lot of things, but I've also had a lot of failure. Another thing that I would tell you is that I've been an Emerald rank for almost a year. So it's been a lot of ups and downs, but I have learned quite a bit about this business. And I've learned that through trial and error and knowing that you just really need to rely on the systems. So I am a newlywed. I have a puppy, so I'm very busy. I also work in the corporate world 9 to 5. It kind of strangles me, and coaching has really allowed me to become myself and be who I really want to be. So my ultimate goal is to quit my job within the next year and full-time become a Beachbody coach. I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, and I moved to Atlanta with my husband about almost 3 years ago for a job opportunity. And that's kind of how Beachbody fell into my lap. And to be honest with you, I was scrolling through Facebook and I joined just like anyone else. I liked a picture of a clean eating group. My coach reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to join? And then little did I know I was in a clean eating group. I'm posting pictures of food. I'm a huge foodie. So I got really excited. Amanda was leading the group. Next thing I know, I see something about 10-minute abs. And here I am in this process with my coach that I couldn't believe. I couldn't believe I had somebody who was so willing to help me and to allow me to just, have a better sort of a lifestyle. And she truly cared about me. I'm telling you my story because it's all going to circle back. So just bear with me. Shortly after that, I signed up for the 21-day fix. She called me on the phone. Within a week, I said, what are you doing? She said, you can make money doing this. And I said, what? Why am I not doing this then? So I was an easy sell. I was an easy coach, but I really liked the whole process because shortly after that, I got on a call and I got started right. I had a call with Amanda and Erica, and they aligned their goals with me. They actually, made sure that I had everything I need. They had a Q&A with me. Not too long after that, my coach, or two coaches above me, Miss Lindsay Gray, started messaging me out of nowhere. She said, hi, how are you? Tell me a little bit about yourself. And I'm thinking, who is this person? Like, oh, she's a coach. Oh, she looks really good. She's had a baby and now she's all ripped up. I'm like, oh, okay. I must know her from somewhere. The point of my story is, guys, I had a conversation with Lindsay, who I didn't even know, and Amanda. And the whole process of me starting as a coach from beginning to all the way until now has really been a positive experience for me. So the reason why I tell you that is because I would say that when you're going to be a leader yourself, think about why you're here now and how you started and how you're duplicating that onto other people. So if you have a pen and paper and you're taking notes right now, I'm going to take you through a list of 10 things that I think identify you as a leader, or if you're struggling right now as a leader and you have a few coaches under you or you don't, it's going to help you either way. So number one is going to be look back at your experience and duplicate it. I shared with you my story. I had someone personally reach out to me and invite me to a group. I had my coach call me on the phone and talk to me about the options of ordering a challenge pack, about becoming a coach and understanding the benefits of becoming a coach. I had her walk me through all these options, right? So think about how you started and duplicate those things onto other people. Now, I realize that life happens and it's not always easy to get people on the phone, and we really do get stuck behind our screens. But in any way, shape, or form, if you can go a little bit above and beyond in those first couple moments or those first 3 or 4 days with that person and getting them prepared email, that is going to make or break them as a customer, because all of your customers are future coaches. Okay. So keep that in mind. That's my number one. There's a lot of details I could go into that, but I think that's the big picture. Number two is when you're not only looking at your own experience, number two is to look up. So look up at the person that's leading you. And what are they doing that you're not doing? So if your coach, for example, my coach was also a huge leader, but we also come from Amanda and Lindsay. Do your coaches, do they know their business? What do they know about the business? How do they always know the answers to your questions? Are they like, are you like, how do I do the order process for the 21-day fix? Or how do I sign up a new coach? Do you know that stuff yourself? Or do you need to reach out to someone and actually ask them? So knowing your business is a big thing. Another thing is that it's really about knowing the products too. And I know Lindsay's talked about this on the last call, but it's really important to know not only processes, because you never know when one of your customers who has a challenge pack hears about becoming a coach. You could become you could have a coach within 2 weeks of, a customer starting. So you just want to make sure that you really have people understand processes, right? When you understand them yourself. How do your coaches talk to you? How do they interact with you? Do they challenge you a little bit? Do they push you a little bit more? So really pay attention to what your leaders above you are doing and try to replicate that. Honestly, that's all I've done to get by. I seriously look at what Amanda's doing and what Lindsay's doing, and I try to duplicate a lot of the things that they're doing. Number three, this is a big one for me, and this is a good example of this call today, is to start before you are ready. There is an awesome video by Caleb Thomas. Is that his name? He's adorable, by the way. He just got a new girlfriend. They're cute as hell. But starting before you're ready is such a big deal because it's going to create confidence later. But starting before you're ready really pushes you out of your comfort zone. So Lindsay and Amanda, reached out to me and said, Carly, can you run a call? And immediately I said, sure, probably because I didn't want to say no, but I knew I needed to do something like this eventually. And I wasn't ready for it, but I'm doing it anyways. I became a Size Live instructor. I'm not telling you that you guys have to, but I've never instructed a thing in my life. To be honest with you, my personality type is an outgoing introvert. I'm an introvert, and I'm known to be a leader. And that's only because I keep pulling myself out of comfort zone. So start before you're ready. If you don't think you're ready to be emerald or you don't think you're ready to be diamond, that's going to hold you back, okay? So the next one, number 4, is growing your confidence. And this is all about personal development. So one thing I mentioned earlier is that, a lot of us are reading books and a lot of us are doing webinars and things like that. But another really big piece of personal development is going in the back office and navigating and just taking one day and looking through that back office. If you don't understand something, there is FAQs for everything. My team knows that I'm pretty, likely to answer someone's question, but at times I will say, hey, you can find that in your back office. And I will almost do that as a test for my team to say, are they going to know where to find it? Or are they going to, trial and error? In the first 6 months of this business, I Googled everything. I mean, everything. I was too scared to ask stupid questions. So I would just sit and Google everything. And if you know anything about Googling stuff for Beachbody, if you Google anything for Beachbody, you're going to get like 10 different variations of a video. So remember to do that. And remember to grow your confidence by being knowledgeable about the products, but also, growing your confidence within yourself by just reading books and watching those webinars as well. Okay. Number 5 is leading by example. And I know we hear this a lot, but I can tell my business is affected, meaning the coaches under me are not as driven when I am not doing a program myself. I am not posting as much, and I am not living out the vital behaviors. Leading by example is so important, and it seems like a lot of pressure, but it's really about having a routine, you guys, and drinking Shakeology every day and posting your challenge groups, and making sure that you're doing or explaining the business activity tracker. So leading by example is a huge one. And that was one that I learned at Coach Summit, and it was kind of a slap in the face. I'm like, I need to get in there and do a program and really just lead by example. Okay. The next one is going to be number 6, and it's give people a home and make them feel at home. Okay. And what I mean by that is if right now you're at a point where you don't have any coaches, that's okay. You are just a brand new coach, or you are, have a couple prospects for discount coaches, or you maybe have 3 or 4. Start brainstorming about where you're going to place people to give them a home to make them feel comfortable. Now, I have a team called Push Play It Forward. Amanda has a team called Fit Warriors. That's her team. Lindsay has a team called the Goal Getters. Where is your team? Where are your people knowing to go to? Now, they know they have leaders, but are they able to go somewhere where they can comfortably feel like they're with their peers and they can ask questions and they can, have resources and kind of know people that are on the same level? So I decided to create my own personally sponsored page, and then everybody else that's kind of under me will add their people too, which is totally fine. But it's something that you want to start thinking about. Think about, what you would name your business if you had one. I chose Push Play It Forward. It's kind of long, but the whole point behind it is people pushing play every day and us paying it forward to others. So mine kind of has a meaning behind it, and I really try to live by that with our group. We try anyways. So there's another idea for you. Number 7, recognize and reward. Oh, this is such a big deal. We're coming from 2 people, and I know Lindsay is big on this. Recognizing and rewarding people is so, so important. And that comes from literally the beginning. I might spend a little bit more money on gifts than other people would, but even just handwritten notes with like a little tiny gift, making sure that people know when they do something great, even if it's just a personal message between you two, or it's a huge blowout on Facebook. If you're not recognizing and rewarding people, that is something that is a huge, huge miss. There are a lot of companies out there. I've had a million jobs. And one thing I love about Beachbody is that they do recognize and reward. And that's Carl's belief. Carl Deichler is a recognize and reward people, a person and a leader. And honestly, that's why the Success Club was created. You get a free gift every time that you hit a goal. So our company really breeds that. Number 8, this is easy for me, and it should be easy for all of you, and this is just to be a friend. So sometimes it's easy to get bogged down in the business and try to understand what people need and what you need. But at the end of the day, we are all human beings. So being a friend and scheduling one-on-one calls with your coaches or with your customers is huge. I did at one point, I opened up my entire schedule for a week, and I opened it up to all my customers. And I'm talking like 90 customers. I want to say that like 11 of them really reached out to me, but then I started doing it with my coaches as well. And just making sure that they know that they're able to call me, and I want to know what's going on in their life. Do they have a sick parent? What's going on with them that's preventing them from doing something if they're falling behind or whatever. So always try to be a friend and have fun. And swear at them if you have to. I'm not going to swear on this call because I promised I wouldn't. But that's another point. Number 9, make things simple for people. I think it's so easy to overcomplicate things. There is so much going on. It is a lot to take in when you become a new coach. So Audrey, this is for you. There are a million groups. There are a million things to do. There are business activity trackers. Have your people focus on what is most important, especially in the beginning, and make it simple for them. If that means you have to take a day away from inviting people to your own business just to grow your team, to create them tools like an order process for the 21-day fix, or a checklist to help them with something, or how they go identify I can't think of something right now. If you're creating tools for people, that's something that's going to help them and make their lives simpler because they have so much going on in their heads. What I mean by make things simple as well is like, make sure that you're doing something and following something that's simple yourself, that you don't expect them to be where you're at. If you're inviting 10 people a day, ask them to just do 3. Live in the world of 3s. Make things very easy and obtainable. And don't make it look like your life is just a crazy mess. Okay? The next one is identify people's talents and let them use it. This is something that I learned from my coach in particular. And this one's an awesome one because once you do start building your team, and you can do this in challenge groups as well, see what they're good at. And if they're really good at posting on Facebook, ask them to kind of lead and, make a nice collage or, represent the way that they are emotionally connected with their why in a challenge group, or ask them to post a weekly tip. I know we do that on our team. Some of our coaches are just go above and beyond. And for example, like Christy has one day, Carrie has another day, and they're posting coach tips in our personally sponsored group to help the rest of the team with what they're going through. So identify people's talents, use them to their advantage, and then help them identify what their weaknesses are. And, you can work on those together. So those are my 10 points. I know I went through them quickly. I hope some of those helped you. But at the end of the day, guys, whether or not you realize it, it's not really who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. And being a leader is something that's really all about being you and being yourself, but growing yourself and making sure that you know that you have an audience and you have people watching you now, and you have people that are wanting to be just like you. So if you're not holding it together yourself all the time, that is okay. But you really have to be honest with people and honest with yourself and practice what you preach. So I hope this helped some of you guys. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have, if it makes sense about anything. Most of this kind of came from the heart, but I absolutely love this team. And what I would tell you is that a lot of the things I'm honestly doing are all with duplication of what I've learned from Lindsay and Amanda. We have amazing resources on this team, and I communicate with them all the time. I probably bother the crap out of them, but to be honest with you, they are the reason that I am successful, and I'm a leader now because I'm just duplicating what they are. So it's really simple, guys. It's all in front of us. We have everything we need. It's just about creating your vision and making sure that you apply it to what your goals are. That's all I really have. I would love to answer any questions if you guys have any. I know everybody's on mute right now, so you can take us off if you want.
Can I say something quick?
Yeah.
I just want to say I had tears in my eyes about 6 times during that because I'm so proud of you.
Aw,
I'm just so proud of you. You are just so real, and everything that you're saying is like perfect for every level, for beginners and even for me to hear. I really needed some reminders of the things that you said, and I'm just really proud of you because you just made me really proud. And you said really nice things too, but I just needed to get that out because Rob's inside looking at me like, why aren't you coming in here? And I have to jump off. And so I'm going to go now, but Carly, I'm so glad. I think this is so funny that I asked you guys to take this over and then I jumped on anyway. I appreciate it so much. It shows you how strong our team really is. And also, I just have to just say it again. I'm just really proud of you.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate it.
All right. You guys enjoy the rest of the calls. Ask lots of questions because it'll be fun and I'll miss you. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Love ya.
Bye. Love ya.
Does anyone have questions? Yes, Carly, that was awesome. Thank you. Definitely some.
Hey, Carly.
Hi. Who's this?
Hi, Carly. It's Tara. How are you?
Tara. What's up, girl?
Well, first of all, that's an awesome call, and I really needed to hear a lot of that. And I feel like you and I know you're further along than I am, but we're kind of in that same situation where we're a little bit abandoned, and we kind of had to take a deep breath and find it within ourselves to almost lead ourselves without help from our coach, you know. Right. And that was always a big struggle for me, you know, because it kind of came at a bad time for me because I had stuff going on with my family, and I'm like, now my coach is MIA, and to see you and everything you've done and how you're continuing to build, you're really inspiring me.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that, Tara. And I know we get knocked down. You got to just keep getting back up. It's not easy. And I know that even though Amanda has a direct line like Lindsay, I know it's hard to stay motivated all the time. And that's why we have such an awesome
Right.
team. We might not be Team Dynasty Bombshell, but we have a very strong, supportive, like friendship on this
Thank you.
team. And if you don't have that
Right.
with us already, you definitely want to make sure you do. So I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, and I totally appreciate all the support from Amanda and Lindsay too. And if I didn't have them, I don't know what I would have done. You know what I mean? I probably would have quit and just like on a different upline, but I didn't. You know, and I know you and I talked about it. We're like, no, this is a great upline. Let's just stay where we are. And I really appreciate Amanda and Lindsay reaching out to me too, because you know, I felt a little bit lost, and you know, just when I wanted to gain momentum, it was just like everything broke down. So now I'm like trying to build, and the problem that I'm finding is I go through my list. First of all, a lot of these people have already purchased from me. So I am reaching back out to people who purchased like maybe, you know, January or February and they fell off, and some are getting back into it. But and then the cold market, it's just, I find that the cold market is really hard for me because like some of these people, I can't even really remember like what I even know about them, if I know much about them at all. And I'm adding 3 a day, but it's like really getting to be slim pickings who I'm adding. Like it's getting to be really, really random because I've been doing it for so long. And I don't know if you're in the same situation. I was just wondering what you do about it.
With the cold market, okay, so your question is with the cold market, like,
Right, like,
Can I say
I mean, I
something
find,
to that?
yeah, go ahead, sure.
anybody
It's Jenny. For my cold market, what I've really been successful with is setting up an event and inviting every single person on my friends list. And majority of them aren't even going to look at the invite.
Mhm.
Some of them will say no. Less will say maybe. Even less will say yes. But those people are different people than said yes or maybe last time I invited them. So I know that it's reaching people, and I just reach out to the yeses and to the maybes. I don't waste my time with the no's, but do I continue to keep inviting them? Yes, because they say that you have to look at something 10 or 11 times before you actually think about doing it. So if it takes me a year of inviting somebody every single month, and then a year later they say yes, then it's successful for me because every time they're seeing it. And when you post stuff in an event, if you do an event, I set it up like a month before I do my challenge group. And I'll post something almost every single day in my event because as soon as you create the event and invite them, they see the notifications every time you do something in that event. Some days I'll post, I hope everyone's having a great day. Sometimes I'll post part of my story. Sometimes I post a motivational quote. They're seeing it. And different people that aren't replying yes or maybe are liking some of those things. So I keep track of that. And I reach out to them to see if I can get them to a maybe or a yes. That's just worked really well for me. And I've gotten more
That's
people
great.
to follow my stuff.
That's a great idea,
That's
Jenny.
a good idea.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I really like that suggestion.
And I think,
yeah, go ahead, Amanda.
and I
You're
think
there.
also, Tara, I've finally gotten to the point because I'm like you. I've definitely, my warm market is pretty much done. Not fully though. I just have to dig deeper. But I've been adding and getting just talking to random strangers where I did not feel comfortable doing that for a long time because I was afraid people are gonna be like, I don't even know you, which I have gotten a couple of those, but that's okay. I mean, what does it matter? Who cares? You're just trying to make friends, and most people have actually been like, oh, hey, and just want to talk to somebody, just a friend. So I've made some great new online friends just by saying hi and finding something on the page.
It's like it's 1995 again.
Love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, right. It's like you
Image
gotta
that.
learn how to make friends when you're an adult.
Yeah.
That's Tara.
Yeah, that's helpful.
I have 2 tips for the team, and I stole them from coaches because I'm a stalker and I just follow people. I'm sure you guys do too. But one of them that has helped me big time with my cold market is I wish people a happy birthday personally. So
Yeah.
if you think about it in a private message, you might have heard that before, but if you haven't, that was like a light bulb went off for me. And I track who I wish happy birthday to, and I go back like a few weeks later and I invite them to a challenge group because 9 times out of 10, I wish them a very personal happy birthday. And then they reply and they're like, oh my God, they're so taken back by it. And then I send them like this stupid little blue guy that holds a present, and then they laugh at it and then we talk. And then all of a sudden they're starting to like my posts. So I open that door up. So that's a
good idea.
tip that like works like a charm. The other thing I do is I'm just relentless. I had somebody the other day reach out to me out of nowhere and say that she's been looking at my Facebook posts for a year, and my whole team was laughing at me. They were like, you have stalkers. And I'm like, I do, but it works. Like, it's so true. If you just stay consistent and post like once or twice a day, every single day, people are watching you.
They are
Yeah,
watching
I
you.
find that like people will approach me, like people who never ever like or comment on anything, but then I'll run into them somewhere and they'll say something to me. And I'm like, okay, and it's just interesting, or people like will refer me to like a relative of theirs, which I get a lot of that probably because of like how overweight I am and I was, especially like people think I'm like the answer to other people's problems. And those people, like I'll reach out to them, but a lot of times they're not ready. It's like the family member is ready to get this person on board, but I'll approach them, and I haven't been successful with that yet.
Great. I like it. It's a challenge, but just keep pushing through. And I mean, our idea, you guys are. Please share our event idea. I love it. Anyone else have questions?
Oh no. There we go.
I have a suggestion also, Tara. Something that Lindsay has said is that's actually something I'm starting to work on is you post consistently, like Carly said, but you got to focus on what time you're going to post in the morning. I've been very successful at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and 8 o'clock at night. That's when I get most of people liking my stuff. That's just my market. I don't know if that's the same for anybody else. And I've also been posting like on Mondays, I want to do motivation Mondays. So I post something motivating in general, or I post something that's motivating for me, or I post something how I can motivate somebody else. So like in the morning, I post something about a quote or something. And then this afternoon I posted right like around 7:30, I posted how the 21-day fix might not be for everybody, but it's motivated me to get into a healthy, better lifestyle because it's a lifestyle change. And then just pick something for every day and just post it at the same time. And then, like Carly said, you have those stalkers that don't comment. All of a sudden, you're going to get a private message one day or a text message from a friend that watches your stuff. And they'll be like, hey, I've seen all this stuff you're doing. I think I'm finally ready to find out what you're really doing. Okay. It's going to happen. And that's just one person at a time.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. I mean, I don't know if you guys experienced, like when you first started, you had a lot of people that was like pretty easy and you just do a promo and you get like a flooded inbox. And now I just feel like it's tapered off. And
I've never had
but
that.
Then when I look, because like when I
wish
look,
I did.
I literally just.
Well, maybe I did because of my weight loss. Like once I had that solid before after picture, that's when a lot of people jumped on board.
Yeah.
And not all of them bought challenge packs, but I certainly sold a lot of kits too. And
That's
it's
awesome.
just like that's all kind of tapered off. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I know my momentum hasn't been great. Like the last couple months, I was, just having different things going on, and now I'm like trying to build it up again. And it's just, I guess that's how the business is, though, right? Like it kind of ebbs and
Life
flows like
happens.
that.
Life happens, and this time of year is the most difficult. Carl has said that it seems to be most difficult for people. So just keep doing what you're doing. Remember, starting small again. Three. The power of threes.
That helped me. Thank you for saying that, because like sometimes like my goals, I have crazy goals, and then my mind just gets flooded with that, and it's like, oh my God, I wanted to be diamond like 4 months ago, and I'm still not, and now I have a coach who might be quitting, and all this goes through my mind. And just to go back to the basics, which is what I was doing at the start, power of three, and just keep it at that right now. Yeah. I think that's kind of helping me just, every day I know I can just at least do that.
Yep. Good.
Awesome. Love it.
Spruha, were you going to say something?
Yeah, were you talking?
Well, I did have a question, but I think so I guess I do kind of have a question. I would like to know, Carly, your, and I don't know about everyone else's working situation, but I know that a lot of coaches in our team and at large are maybe, stay-at-home moms or part stay-at-home moms or have children. And I don't have any kids. I've only been married for 5 years, so my husband and I are a young couple. But I also do work a 9 to 5, actually 8 to 5 job. And I live on the West Coast, so I kind of feel like sometimes my scheduling in terms of posts that I put out, and let me just say, I am also from Chicago, but now I live in California. So everyone that I know is most of the people on my Facebook and my network is 2 hours ahead of me. Mm-hmm. So when I'm posting something at 5 or something, Hootsuite has helped a little bit if I am able to actually get to the computer and schedule it ahead of time. But like that's a lot of the reasons why I miss a lot of these calls, is because if it's happening at like 7 and I have something right after work at 5, I'm not available. But I was just wondering, Carly, what your strategy is, having being in the corporate world, not being able to like flex your schedule as much, doing work during the day. What's your strategy to make sure that you hit your goals on a daily basis and on a weekly basis? Because I'm a new coach. I've only been doing this for about 4 weeks. I've had a little bit of a success. The first person I signed up was my sister. So a little bit of solidarity and support, family support from her. And today I actually have an appointment with my first it'll be my first real customer that I actually took from, all the way through, and I'll be signing her up in a little bit, in about an hour or two. But I guess I'm just looking for like your strategy with not having kids, but still I feel like when I get home between my husband and my work and all the other, what seems like a million things, how do you get it all in?
That is a great question. So I'll be honest with you. I've been a coach for 14 months, and the last 3 months I have been working from home. So things are a little bit different for me now. Mm-hmm. However, I travel like 2 to 3 times a month. So I have struggled with both. And as far as time management goes, for one, what I would tell you about your Facebook post is, I know Jenny mentioned certain times of the day. I quit doing that. I used to post in the morning, and then I used to post once right at like work time, like 5 or 6, and then like maybe at night. And I then I just started posting strategically because I watched a video about it, and I know Lindsay has mentioned that as well. And once I started posting strategically, I honestly got more likes than I ever did in the past. So I don't necessarily feel that time of the day is really going to affect your business, but that's just from my own personal experience. It could be very different. It depends on where you are. But I would say the more effective the post, the better. And that by that, I mean like the personal content. If you're doing a video, if you're making it into your own, you're not just like sharing stuff all day. You know, it's really got to be strategic. So you're kind of like giving a hidden message or some sort. I'll suck at it. I'll be honest. I'm working on it. But I have made a vow to my husband to, you know, at least give him an hour of my time a day, at least. More, sometimes it's more. But what I started doing is I started working really hard 3 days a week. And then the other 4, I work like mediocre. And sometimes I even take a day off. So I almost do like power days. Okay. And I think it's easy to, you know, get yourself burned out. And I've done it a million times. I know everyone on this call who's been around for a while, Amanda, I know we've all like burned ourselves out. So you just have to really be careful and find what works best for you. I know it's not a straightforward answer, but make time for your husband and, you know, just set yourself a goal, maybe 2 or 3 days a week to like bang it out. And then like, you know, kind of ease yourself the rest of the week, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense, and that might be a little bit more doable for me, especially since he doesn't, during the work week, Monday through Friday, he only works Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So those are the days that I guess now that you say that, I've already been trying to focus my work to those 3 days of the week because then I know he's not home, and then he's just not even a distraction for me.
Yeah.
And then not just that, but it's like, you know, I mean, if we're supposed to be living the product, I need to be working out. And I'm not a morning person. I'm sorry. I tried it. I just can't do it. So I get home and that's me time, you know, so I need to get all that stuff. I have to do my workout. I get my dinner started or whatever. And then I try to do some work, or sometimes it's a little bit of both, you know? And for the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to, whatever I can't get done during the week, I've been trying to basically offload onto my weekend. And then this past weekend, I was just like, I just don't want to do anything. You know what I mean? I just felt so overwhelmed by all the stuff that I still had to do after a whole week of work. And so I guess I like what you said about dedicating time to not working, and maybe that will actually help me find time to focus where I do work.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to not have to work on the weekend because I already work, 40 plus hours a week during the week. So
really it just depends on where your goals are. Like, I'm crazy. I'll put in 3 to 4 hours on a weekend, but that's just because I want to get to where I want to get. So that doesn't mean that everyone else has to, but don't burn yourself.
It's not every time for me either. I mean, sometimes I think as I look towards the weekend, it will just depend on my mood,
Right.
or how close I am to my goal in general. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Anytime. And you can friend me if we're not friends already. Anybody on here. If we're not friends, friend me, please. Especially you, Megan. Just kidding.
She's a fun human.
Yeah, I had my human shirt on today. I got a compliment on it. It's awesome. Well, does anyone else have any questions? Carrie, you got any questions for me over there? Calling you out. You're the only one on my team I know is here. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. I had to mute you because I got dogs and
I know. And the husband, we saw him.
He said he was going to put his headband on.
Awesome.
Yeah, to work out.
See, rewards and recognition. She got a headband and now her husband wears it. Perfect example.
He looks better in it, apparently.
That's No, you look
Can
way
you just-
better. Get that straight.
He's listening. He's laughing right now.
Okay.
The scary
I
part
phone
is
being goofy.
so that's awesome. Well,
Wow.
Hey, Carly.
yes.
Hey, Carly, what's been your best system that you've set up for yourself to organize yourself?
That's a good question.
Or just one that you know has made a big difference in your biz?
Okay. That's a good question. I have a couple, but I would say my customer startup process. And it's been an over the time thing because, like I said in the beginning of the call, I talked about myself, and I know I was just chatting about myself, but like I really make it a point to sign up my challengers, get them, they're getting prepared, right, or startup email. I'll send it to all you guys if you want it. It seems to work wonders. It's long, very personal. It's kind of funny. And then I call them on the phone. So that's a good process that I use. I would say the other one is, right, I started up, well,
I'm sorry, you got a little jumbled. You call your challengers?
yeah, something, what'd you say?
Did you say you sign up your challengers? Or you call your challengers?
Yes.
Okay.
Talk to them on the phone.
Okay.
Then and I just started doing that like 3 months ago. So any of my new challengers, I call them personally on the phone because I was so stuck for the first 9 months, like behind my screen. I signed everyone up behind a screen, and I felt like that was really impersonable. And then I thought about like what Erica did for me when she signed me up, and she had me on the phone. And I was like, that really made a huge difference for me. So that's probably the one that's most effective. And then I have a to-do list every day, but I just started using the business activity tracker. And to be honest with you, like that works. Like I was away from that thing for a long time. I bought it. I was like, I'm going to do my own thing. It took me a while to get used to though. I would say like 2 or 3 weeks, but I use it every day now. And I like it a lot. So try it out. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard when you're new, I think, with the business activity tracker because there's so much content on it. It makes you overwhelmed because you're still like learning how to like write scripts and run challenge groups. So once you're really comfortable, it's awesome.
I like it too.
Cool. That's why you rule.
That's what I was going to say.
But the only other thing I would say is actually Carrie, she's on this call. She's like a future rock star, and I think Christy's on too. But Carrie just created this based off of what I do and what I've told her. She created like this Excel file that she does for all of her new customers and has a column for like each thing. Like she has like, Carrie, what's on there? You have, go ahead.
I put on like the program they're doing so I can keep track of that, the Shakeology, maybe the flavor. I put down to schedule the reminder like a week before their next one's supposed to come out, that I've sent them the email, that I've welcomed them to the group, that, what else?
A thank you card.
I send out thank you cards. On the thank you card, I kind of let them know of a referral if they know somebody that, you know, I do giveaways and stuff for that. But every time I talked to Carly in the beginning, I was like, oh, do you do a referral thing? How do you do that? And then she would tell me, and I'm like, oh, is there a checklist? How do I know to keep track? So I just made one, because otherwise I just don't do it. I go through and make sure I've done it. Or 2 days later, I'm like, did I even add them to the group? Did I welcome them to the group? Like, I just completely forget all the time. So if I don't physically write it down, and I'm a list person, I love lists, I do well with that. So I do that business tracker, the daily thing, but sometimes I feel like I'm writing things in so many different places that I'm wasting my time. So that is something I'm kind of working on, because I'm like, okay, well, I got to put them in my master list. Now I've added them to this list. Usually I'm doing it throughout the day, I feel for you because I work all day. So I don't have a lot of time. So I feel like on my lunch hour, I'm sending out messages, I'm adding people to my network. So then I'm like, okay, well, now I have to put a note on my phone, or I keep a Post-it note with me. And then I go home and I add it to the tracker to make sure I've done what I'm supposed to. But then I ultimately have to add it to my master list and then write down what I'm forming people about so I can remember next week. So I feel like I'm writing things 12 times. So I'm still trying to figure that out.
You'll get there.
You will.
Yeah. That really crescendoed into very climactic dogs.
I know, it was lovely, right? I waited till I was talking to start barking again.
They're like, I feel you. That's what they were saying.
Yes.
Right. They're like, and she doesn't play with us anymore.
Awesome.
But yeah, lists.
Great question. I love that one.
Sorry, guys. I'm tired.
You should be.
Thank you guys so much.
It's not like you ran a marathon yesterday.
No.
Right? It's
A
okay.
hot marathon.
Yeah.
Amanda deserves a break. She's working her butt off for us. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for being on the call. And I know Lindsay would say the same, but thanks for humoring me through my non-expertise. I'm still learning. I'm no expert, but I learned from all of you guys as well. So I hope you found something beneficial here. And thanks for your questions. And go team. Go get our Warriors.
Thanks
And
so much.
hopefully, yeah, and come to Bourbon Street if you can, guys. I know you're in California, Spruha, but anybody, if you can make it,
I'll be there.
it'll be fun. Yay!
Hey.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thank you,
Good
Carly,
night, guys.
for
Thanks.
stepping up and helping out.
Sure. Anytime.
Did a great job.
Yeah,
Thank
it was awesome. I love it. So proud of you. Have a good
Bye.
night.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a good night.